Alright, what's up? So I'm gonna try to oversimplify the racing rules of sailing, which is nearly a book itself, as it counts 159 pages on the official World Sailing PDF. Whether you're a beginner or a confirmed sailor, understanding the basics of racing rules is essential for safe and fair competition on the water. Racing rules serve as the traffic laws of the water, ensuring that sailors can compete safely and fairly while respecting the rights of other boats. These rules govern everything from right of way to mark grounding to starting and finishing procedures. To make things easier, the green boat will always have priority over the red boat. So let's get started with the most famous rule of them all, the Rule 10, otherwise known as port starboard. When boats are on opposite tacks, a port tack boat must keep clear of a starboard tack boat. Now, for Rule 11, when two boats are on the same tack and overlapped, a windward boat must keep clear of a leeward boat. A boat is overlapped when his hull and sails in normal position are behind a line, a beam from the aftermost point of the other boat. Windward is basically facing towards the wind, and leeward is facing away from the wind. Rule 12 states that when boats are on the same tack and not overlapped, a boat clear stern shall keep clear of a boat clear ahead. Now for Rule 13, when you're tacking or jibing, you gotta keep clear of any boat sailing on a proper course. During that time, Rules 10, 11 and 12 do not apply. As you probably know, in virtual regatta there is no such thing as avoiding contact. However, in real life, all boats, including the right-of-way boats, must avoid collisions if reasonably possible. That's Rule 14. Now, Rule 15 is when a boat acquires right-of-way, he must give the other boat room and time to keep clear unless he acquires right-of-way because of the other boat's actions. Rule 16 is a little bit similar. When a boat with right-of-way changes its course, he must give the other boat room to keep clear. For example, on a windward beat, when a port tack boat is keeping clear by sailing leeward of a starboard tack boat, the starboard can't bear away if as a result the port tack boat has to change course immediately to continue keeping clear. The next rule is when a boat clear stern becomes overlapped to leeward of a boat on the same tack. He must not sail above his proper course while they remain on the same tack and overlapped within that distance, unless in doing so he promptly sails astern of the other boat. Okay, so those were basically the right-of-way and general limitation rules. Now let's try to learn a little bit about mark room, starting procedures, penalties and protest. So, Rule 18 requires boats to give space to others when approaching and rounding marks. The boat entitled to mark room has the right to sail its proper course without hindrance, while the other must give enough room for safe maneuvering. The engagement rule works like that. If a boat enters the 3-boat length zone around the mark and nobody is overlapping him, his opponents shall give him room to round safely. However, if a boat enters the zone and is overlapped by a boat inside of him, he then has to yield room for the other to maneuver. I'm gonna go ahead and skip a bunch of rules to talk about Rule 30, which is starting penalties. If any part of your hull is on the course side in the last minute before the start, that's a false start. You both must return behind the line and restart correctly to avoid a penalty. Depending on the flag governing the starting procedure, your options to return behind the line and have a clean start are very different. If the start is under the P flag and you cross the line prematurely, you may go back under the line in any way you so desire. Under the I flag, however, to clear your penalty, you have to go back in the pre-start side from one of the extension of the starting line. And under the black flag, any part of your hull or extensions crosses the line in the minute before the start and you are BFD, which is basically disqualified from the race. Now, while racing, Rule 31 prohibits any boat from touching a mark that begins, bounds or ends the leg of the course on which he is sailing. If you do, however, touch a mark, to clear your penalty, you must do a 360 turn. If you violated any other rule, you often have to do a 720 turn. And if for any other reason you deem that another sailor or the race committee has infringed the rules, you may protest to disqualify them or seek a redress for yourself. Alright, well, that's it for the racing rules of sailing. I really tried to oversimplify as much as I could, and if you have any suggestion for the next topics on this channel, please do not hesitate to let me know in the comments.